Hello, folks. Welcome back. Yes, don't worry, I've got my coffee here. Who do we have joining us today for this special live stream? Cheers. Of course, all these live streams are special. Okay, we've got Dave coming up here. I can see the future. Let's see, do we have Dave? Graham? No, Graham's sleeping. He's in Australia. Well, I thought today we do. Well, I'll wait a little bit, and I know I'm kind of just running a little bit behind, so hopefully some folks will tune in. Try to keep these live streams happening. It's a great way for me to. Hey, Jim, you made it! Awesome. A good way for me to try to share my materials with everybody, and especially on Patreon, where you can get these etudes and solo arrangements and all this other stuff. So you already know, so I don't need to talk too much about that. But today I wanted to go through one of my etudes that I was reviewing. I started the review maybe last month on Patreon as a bonus video, and I taught this song in my last Gypsy Jazz boot camp class. It's a great standard on the sunny side of the street, and there's a live stream too from I think it was last month. So this kind of relates to that live stream. It's basically going to give you some soloing ideas for on the sunny side of the street. Great jazz standard. Let's see. Grab your coat, get your hat, leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. And when you hear that pitter pat, hopefully you know the tune. So today we are going to talk some soloing ideas. It's going to be a little bit more intense because this is my etude that I'm going to go over with you that I wrote out for my Gypsy Jazz Bootcamp. And when I write out my etudes for Gypsy Jazz Bootcamp, they have more notes. But the thing is, we can break it down and just get some good soloing ideas and what I call strategies so that you can play through the changes. So let's go ahead, and I'm really enjoying the screen share that I can do now on YouTube. So you guys get a chance to see what I'm seeing and my process here of how I like to teach when I teach my workshops and classes, which currently I'm only doing private lessons. So there's actually I think 2 slots left on the Patreon for the Diamond tier. You can always contact me separately, but the Diamond tier is a great way to get on Patreon if you're not already on Patreon. For a private lesson too. Otherwise, you can always contact me separately if you want some help with your playing. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. You can always feel free to type in the chat. Appreciate it, and appreciate the thumbs up if you are enjoying these live streams. So I've got loaded up here on the sunny side of the street 1. And let's see, do I have a backing track for this one already built in? Maybe. Let's see. Yeah, I've got this guy. I think his name's Guitar Improvisation, GI. So we got a little backing track we could even practice too. But mainly, I'm just going to kind of go over through this etude here. So I like to go through the synth mode. And if you're new to Soundslice, it's a great way to practice. By the way, I don't know who's here, Jim? Can you Yukon? Can you see me okay? And see the sheet music on the screen, my etude. Before I proceed, I just want to make sure it's all good. So we're going to do... Okay, thanks, Jim. Appreciate it. Okay, so hopefully you've already know the chord changes. So I'm just going to talk shop for a second. I always recommend, first of all, you know the chord changes to the song. I don't think it's really worth your time to jump into a solo if you don't know the changes. So that's why I would recommend that you just play the changes with me once. C major 7, grab your coat, E7, and get your hat. F major 7, leave your worry. The B minor 7 flat 5 to E7 on the doorstep. And sometimes you could do, some books will say G7 G sharp dim, and that's what I call more of a gospel. G7 here, and then G sharp dim to the A minor. B7 minor, B minor 7 flat 5 is basically equivalent to G9. So it works beautifully. 5 to the leading tone, diminished to the A minor. Basically, we want to get to that A minor. So you could do this 2 5 1 to the A minor, or B half or G7, G sharp dim to the A minor. They both lead you here. I talked about that in the live stream. I basically say if you want to make it more of a gospel, you do G, G sharp dim, A minor. Just get that dim in there. A minor 7, just direct your feet. D9, D minor, G7, 2 5 to the sunny side of the 3 6 2 5 street. And that's it. You hear a bit of F major 7, B half dim, E7, A minor 7, D7, I'm doing D9, to the sunny side of the street, and then the B section there. So again, I'm just kind of analyzing this quickly here with you. We've got the 1, we've got the 3 dominant, which is the 5 of the 6, and I say that 5 of the 6 because we're in the key of C, and so I talked about this yesterday when I was going through this with the Diamond Tier lesson on Patreon. We were going through All of Me, in All of Me, the second chord is E7. And I said, that's a 5, even though it's called a 3 dominant. You want to think of what it relates to. It's a 5 of the 6 in the key of C, and that's A minor. So the scale you'd be thinking is A harmonic minor. This is, again, common practice improvisation. F major is the 4, 2 5, again, back to the A minor. So it's just like before, A harmonic minor scale. Now, once we arrive to A minor to the D9 or D7, that's Dorian. That's a 2 dominant. Okay, so that's going to be A Dorian, that is, to D7. That's like we're in the key of G, just for this instant. That's, again, just a little bit more of a common practice style improv, the 5 of the 5, 2 dominant, okay? 2 5, and then the turnaround 3 6 2 5, quick change there. So again, I always suggest make sure that you can analyze the song. Don't worry, we're not going to go that fast, but just make sure you can play through the changes. So here's what I wrote on my etude, just to go through this. We can just kind of cruise through it here. I just wanted to take you on this process for those who have not participated in my live workshops and classes where I'm actually going through this and analyzing it. It's more of a process video, and I have a lot of these process video lessons on Patreon. Those are called the bonus video lessons and process lessons. If you're interested and really enjoy walking through each of the notes separately with me, and it ranges from Django solos to other etudes and solos to my own solos, of course. Okay, so on the C, I'm doing this lick, and it's just a pentatonic. So I've got C major. Let me grab a different pick here. And so C major penta. Can't go wrong with the pentatonic on a major chord. That's essential. This is a 1 chord. So my lick, the phrase rather, is this. And it's really targeting the 5th degree, and then the 3rd of the E. And then on the F, the 3rd. So again, there's some voice leading that I'm kind of paying attention to here. So we have this. And on the F major, I was kind of treating it like it's an A minor blues. Okay, so the first phrase, and the rhythm is a little bit tricky too, so I'm going to walk you through the rhythm. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and... Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I am sliding this note here, this 4 to the 5. Ba, 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 bum. Kind of bluesy. Okay. So again, that was kind of an A minor phrase over the F major 7 because that gives us an F major 9 flavor, essentially. Really beautiful extended color. And I'm often thinking A minor ideas over the F major 7 chord in general. Now we get this little barrage of triplets. And that's a nice little harmonic minor scale riff on the B half dim to the E7 into the A minor. It's an A harmonic minor. But notice I'm starting with a D minor triad. It's almost like a 2-5 lick, like D minor G7. But then it just turns out to go down the scale. Again, that's an important soloing strategy, to play the harmonic minor scale of the chord you are going to, or that it's the 5 of. E7 is the 5 of A minor. Okay. And again, that triplet, da 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 da, and that's more of a technique exercise. And then more triplets, and then here I'm just analyzing this along with you as you learn it, and I'm reviewing my own etude too that I wrote out. We have this A minor triad for the A minor chord, ascending, A C E A. So basically, I'm targeting this, but I'm going to the lower neighbor tone to create some melodic interest, embellishing, I usually say, and to allow us to achieve that triplet rhythm to make it exciting. So that's a nice little A minor riff. And you can play around with whatever fingering works for you, as long as you can achieve it. Okay, so you can watch my fingering. I'm doing it kind of a la Django. When I say a la Django, I mean just these two fingers. But I don't stick to that rule. I want to be able to execute this in time. And so that's where you do want to think about fingering and what's best for you. I'm going to take a break, have some coffee, but I'd love to see some more people's names that are familiar on these live streams. David did make it. Yukon, these are usually what I do for my group classes and workshops, this breakdown and analysis. And of course, these are the bonus process video lessons that are all on Patreon at the Platinum tier, where I walk you through it. Of course, in the group classes and workshops and the private lessons, I can actually see you and work with you one-on-one. So this is, again, kind of me going through my process. And again, if you're just tuning in, we're going through On the Sunny Side of the Street, my etude here. And I do recommend that, first of all, I'm going to stop this here so I can just talk to you without having the music go by. But first of all, I always say learn the chords. Grab your C major, E7, F major 7, 2-5 to A minor, D7, dominant, and then minor, 5, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. And that's your A section. The second time just stays on C. You don't need to do the turnaround, the 3, 6, 2, 5. But that's my recommendation, is whenever you're learning and working on a song for improvisation, play the chords. I mean, really, I want you to know the chord progression inside and out, so that when you're listening to Django, Louis Armstrong, whoever your favorite, just your favorite soloist, listen and then try to be able to say C, E7, F major, B, half dim, E, A minor, D, D, G, C. Try to be able to say the chord progression as it's going by so that you can visualize what chord you're on. Because it's not just a simple blues, this is not like a 12-bar blues, or even 12-bar blues, I shouldn't say that. You still want to be able to know if you're on the 1 chord, the 4, the 5. So just try to keep track of the progression. Minor swing, same thing. When you're just do some really active listening, follow along with the music, the score. That's why I say use my sound slice practice videos. Many of you on Patreon know how much I stress play along with the whole song. Watch the chords go by so that when you are in your practice and performing mode, you are actively listening at the same time as you're playing, and you know where you're at all times. Because a lot of people ask me that, do you know what chord you're on at all times? And I always say, yeah. If I know the song pretty well, I can tell you exactly what chord they're on if I'm listening to it. To a recording or to whatever, you want to always keep track of the form and the chords. So when you're choosing your songs to work on, choose songs appropriately that are at your level, that you can navigate the chords and manage. So this one might be a little bit more advanced. This one is definitely probably level 3, I want to say 2.5 to 3. It's not a level 1 song. It's not minor swing. It's not a 12-bar blues. It's not Sweet Georgia Brown. This standard's a little bit more challenging, but it's not a level 4 song either. Like like Someone in Love or some other standards, are definitely not giant steps, right? So always, again, try to be aware of the chords. So when I teach improvisation, I always say play the chord and then kind of maybe know your lick or your phrase. You can have the phrase that goes with the chord. And that was all D7 there, A minor 7, D7. But that 2-5, that was my little harmonic minor scale lick on this 2, 5, A minor, D7. So again, try to relate the lick, I say lick, but I mean phrase, your line, to the chord. Again, that's a big aspect of learning to play the changes. And for me, my favorite soloists, really, I can turn off the backing track or the band and hear the changes go by the lines. It's not just blues licks or blues phrases, but they're really navigating the chord progression, kind of in the it's like I'm listening to Bach or something, just really beautifully ornamented. And let's check the comments. Joel, welcome. I've seen your name. Are you a Patreon member, Joel? He says, I am a novice at soloing. Does all this calculation of what chord and what scale become second nature? Absolutely. Yeah, but you got to start. Good that you already know this song. So yeah, this was a good one. Again, I would say choose songs that you already know, that you sing, that you play, and then work on it. So, even though it might be a little bit harder than minor swing, to know, but just stay on the A section, master the A section first, get these ideas down. And again, even if you don't learn my solo, my etude note for note, at least you'll get some good ideas. You might even just say, ooh, I like this voice leading this. And then maybe throw in a lick, that little harmonic minor scale lick, and work on some triplets too. So yeah, for sure, Joel, you can do it. And if you're not on Patreon, I do recommend joining if you can do it, because I'm all about helping soloists kind of get to the level where they really enjoy learning and practicing their ideas, and have a lot of ideas. That's a really sweet little harmonic minor lick there. Yeah, Joel, please consider it. Be great to have you in the community. But of course, if you're not able to, then just keep tuning into these live videos, lessons, live streams, and you can maybe consider joining me on YouTube, where I also have more videos. But Patreon, you can have access to all of my PDFs and tabs and sound slice practice videos. It's really a great community too. So I'm going to go back to this. Let's keep working on this etude. and just try your best at it and get some ideas, I'm hoping, for many of you. So here we go. We have this. Right to the leading tone, the third. On the sunny side. Now we're at this part here. And what do I do here? Watch these pickup notes. That's a 2-5. D minor, G7, just outlining what I call outlining. I'm just right here. D minor, G7. So this is just outlining arpeggios, what I call easy arpeggios. And then we've got this 3, 6, 2, 5. The thing to watch out for here, not watch out, but to notice rather, is the E minor triad for the E minor chord. On the A7, this is an E diminished. So I always say the word diminish. Well, it's one word, diminish it. And when I say diminish it, whatever that means is if you're on an E minor, you're going to turn it to E diminish. And then on the D minor, diminish it. You play D diminish. So this is where it's very valuable to learn your triads in this case. E minor, E diminish, D minor, D diminish. And by doing that, you're navigating a 2-5-2-5 sequence. So you're going, and that's what that is. And notice these little triplets. Da 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 dee da da dee da 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 da. Now, this is an etude, by the way. It's just a fun little study. Now, what I'm doing here on the second A section here of the course, this is basically when you're going, and when you hear it pitter pat. E minor triad, just plain old E minor triad against the C major. But however, this ends up on a C triad here. So it's just one big E minor triad and then C triad. Collectively, if you put E minor and C major together, you get C major 7. I just wanted it to be a triad because I was doing this. So that makes a really great technique study to me. And how I'm playing is this. So you see I'm going down, up, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So that's a little fun study. Yeah, people are getting back into the Mickey Baker books. That's great. Oh, and you sing and play in nursing homes. That's great. Wonderful. You're staying pretty busy. That's good, Joel. Great. I love these little studies. That's 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. Let's keep going, you guys. And by the way, if you are enjoying this, please do this. This helps my channel and kind of keeps me going on these live streams if you are enjoying them. Let's go back. Okay, so now we're looking at this. We're right here on this E, and what I'm doing here, I'm just breaking this down for you so you get some ideas and hearing my process of creating these etudes. So I'm doing this kind of a Django style. I learned this arpeggio from Django. There's some technique to it I'll talk about. It's a triplet. It's just a major triad, by the way. On the E7, F. I'm just going to show it to you here, but because on paper, you might not know the technique of doing this or even see that it's just an E triad. E, G sharp, E. E, G sharp, E. E. Django played a lot of triads, and triads are the foundation. It's super important. And then I walk it down to the F major. Da, da, da. That's the 6th degree. And then I'm doing this classic Django style lick on the F major. But let me get off this screen share and show you this E triad really quickly here. So here's the E triad. So I'm going E, G sharp, B. And then I take my first finger, go E, G sharp, B. So it's like this. And then I just bar across to get my pinky on the top E. Triplet, 1. Actually, it's triplet, 3. You're on beat 3. And notice the 2 downstrokes, and this is a picking aspect of it. 2 downstrokes in a row, and then upstroke. Down, down, up, and let it sweep. Let it just drag across. That's why I was doing this. So again, it's a fun little flashy technique to get some quick triplets. Don't worry, it comes back here in a second. Let's keep going through this, and I'm going to see who else logs on to this. And if there's a lot of thumbs up happening here, I'll keep it going through the whole etude. Otherwise, I'll just miss a short one today. Okay, so let's keep going, you guys. We got the E. And then on this F major, this is a classic Django style lick, but notice a little walk down into the 6th degree. Beautiful F major. It's kind of an F major and an F major 13. 6, 2, 3. 2, 3. So basically think of it off this D minor 7 shape. That's the way to, and then if you add on this, notice that you can get that whole lick just right here off this one shape. This is on the F6 chord or F major 7, but I'm thinking on the 10th fret and going like this. Okay. I'm not barring it like this. You could, but I don't want it all ringy, so I want to go. Okay. Very nice Django style lick. Let's keep going. And feel free to type in the comments. I'd love to see who's tuning in today. And that was just 8th notes. We got that triplet on the E. And then here comes a little barrage again, similar to that other time we did up here, other phrase that we had the harmonic minor here, this. Similarly, but now look at the position over here. Just to vary it up, I'm over on the 10th and 12th fret, 10th position. Triplets again. So that's kind of a classic bebop lick. So again, that's a 2-5. Notice I'm starting on D. And this is important to recognize. B minor 7 flat 5. I'm going to do a little quiz here. So get ready. Type in the chat. See who's got it. B minor 7 flat 5 is equivalent to what minor 6? B minor 7 flat 5 is equivalent to what minor 6? Yes, Jim. So when I see D minor 6, all right, so when you see B half dim, B half dim, B half dim, that equals D minor 6. So you can play your D minor 6 phrases and ideas, and that's why I did this. That's why I'm starting on D minor. And then the trick is to create a 2-5, you diminish it. So there's that word again, diminish it. So I went from D minor 7 to D minor 6, like it's a 2-5, and then I did a descending. And by the way, I'm right here, you guys. I'm descending the diminished. So I went do 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 dee do do dee da dee da dum. My singing was not note for note though. That's diminished. Which diminished? D diminished. Okay. D diminished 7 is also equivalent to B diminished 7. Triplets. Da 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 da. And make sure you resolve it. In this case, the leading tone, that note there should be a G sharp in the sheet music, but goes to the A. So it's a really nice 2-5-1. 2, 3, 4. So I call this phrase training, by the way. We're just practicing licks and ideas and phrases. More so phrases than just licks, because we're really putting it into the chord progression so that we can execute it in time. Now we have these two phrases. That was the first time. This one here. And then this time for that A minor, I'm doing this like I did on the E minor earlier. But now I'm going A minor, ascending here. Are you guys able to see my cursor move over the music? Can you let me know? I can't. I'm not sure if you're able to see my cursor or not. Oh, thanks, Jim. I think I have to be on that screen. Let me see. Tell me now. Now, can you see my cursor? I'm actually on the screen. Can you see my cursor move over the music here? Like if I point here saying this is an A minor triad, A, C, E, A. Can you see that? Please let me know in the comments. I just want this to be as good for you as possible. Oh, I see. Oh, thanks. Okay, good. Appreciate it. Good. In that case, I'm gonna go back to. I'm just gonna make sure I'm on that same screen too. There you go. Okay, super. So yeah, now I'm using my cursor here to show you this is an A minor. By the way, screen share on live streams is a really new feature on YouTube. So it's really great that I can offer these interactive lessons that I would be doing in my classes and workshops live on YouTube. So this is an A minor triad. This is an A minor triad. This is an A minor triad. And this is an A minor triad. It's just a nice sequence. Very classical. Last time we did it on E minor over here. Now we're going A minor. Okay. But then I go. So there's a lot of what is called enclosure. That means you're basically going above and below a note that you're trying to target. Enclosure, okay? Very beboppy, okay? So we've got this A minor lick. And that's a longer 2-5 chord, a 2-5 here. So let me see who's here. I think I need to close some screens. Got a lot of windows open. Just to demonstrate that again, A minor, A minor, A minor, A minor. That's the enclosure right there. Very beboppy. So it's this triplets, triplet, triplet, triplet. And again, that's the third of the D7. So that's what I'm saying, is trying to make sure that you target these thirds, the roots, a fifth, just have a good target. And that's a 2-5. 2-5. Fancy. I know it's kind of in that, busier gypsy jazz style, but Okay, let's keep going. I think this Etude's got a lot of nice little ideas in here, so I wanted to kind of just share it with you a little bit further. And then on this D minor G7 2-5, just a little melodic sequence. And then kind of a little classic, little bluesy phrase here with the flat 3 to the major 3 to the root of this. And that's the first half of the Etude right there. We just did it. 3, 4. Now, when we head into, oh, by the way, Sound Slice is great because you can obviously just push play too and just listen to it. Okay, so you get the idea with that. So let's see who's here and maybe we'll continue. Or how you guys doing? Are you enjoying these live streams? Can you let me know? I just like to try out different things and see what folks are enjoying. Let's see, where am I here? Oh, I might have just been sharing my Nuage Etude this whole time. Did you see did you see Nuage or did you see on the sunny side of the street? Carl, good to see you. Gerhard Carl, thank you for tuning in. Oh, Keith, you made it. Yeah, this is a good one. I like this Etude quite a bit. Good. Well, thanks for letting me know. I've got, hundreds of Etudes. So we'll keep doing them. And I love it too because it's good practice for me. I mean, I'd rather just, warm up doing some Etudes instead of just noodling around. Multitasking. Oh, good. Nice little phrases. Oh, good. Thanks, Joel. You guys want to go on to the B section? Maybe the next live stream I'll do a solo arrangement. Walk you through my process. Sometimes I'll just do general live streams, going over chords and concepts and some standards. But sometimes it's really nice to go over these specific arrangements and etudes and such as well. So let's go back to Sunnyside and go to, and then why not? If I'm boring you guys, you can just go watch someone else. Oh, I like that one. That's a very Charlie Parker inspired lick. These triplets. Great for your picking. I'm alternating everything except for that sweep on the G minor triad. And then it's alternating. So again, that's just going down in whole steps if you didn't notice this. So it's got this leading tone, G minor. These are all triplets. Da do ba da be ba dee. So it's, and then you want to arrive to the seventh degree and seventh and the three. This is an A minor kind of idea again on the F major. But then it turns into a little F major pentalick. Notice my swing. Boopy doopy doop. And I'm making it kind of a little bit staccato there. Let's see if we can play the whole phrase. 3, 4, 1. Let's see. Okay. Let's go on to the D7. Oh, I like this. This is a little Tracy lick that I do all the time. So basically on the D7 chord, you can play diminished 7 chord. I think of it off of F sharp dim, A dim, C dim, and an E flat dim. Any of those four. These are dim 7s, by the way. When you see D7, that gives you that darker flat 9 vibe. So I'm doing this little scale figure. I'm adding in a scale tone. So it's kind of actually from the half whole diminished scale, if you know that. Something like this. And yeah, you can slide that around every 3 frets. It's symmetrical, and that's what that scale is. So that's what I'm doing there. It's a pretty stock lick. And then I continue on with that diminished idea here, and now go back to some triplets. This is more of a technique study here, and this is the half whole diminished scale again on G7 this time. So I have this. Kind of a nice little build-up lick there. And that, if you can see in the sheet music here, you start on G, you got the flat 9, you got the sharp 9, you got the flat 5 and the sharp 5, the natural 13. That if you don't know the half diminished scale, I'll get out the screen share for a second. If the half whole diminished scale is new for you, here's G7. You go half whole and just repeat the sequence. So in G, half step. I just slide my first finger like this, and then whole, and then half. And then right there, that's all you need to know. Then you just start on the tritone and do the same thing. Then tritone from where you started there, that's back to G. So you're just basically doing this shell. I always call it the flat 5 shell, the tritone, this. And do this. You might have seen my lessons already on the half whole diminished scale. But this sequence that I'm running is this. And then I take it on the tritone. And then back to G. Back to the tritone. So it's all from the scale. Nice little lick there to give you some cool colors. G, 13, flat 9, sharp 9. And it's pretty easy to play. So it gets you that nice, cool tension building. Let's finish this solo. You guys are doing awesome. Good job at hanging with me through this whole etude. We're almost done here. By the way, if you're not on Patreon and you want this etude, you can purchase it. So the link is in the description. Or, of course, if you're on Patreon, the etude is on there with the sound slice that I'm using right now. All right, what else do we have here? We're on the last 8 bars, the last A section. Yes, that's exactly how I started the solo. I like to try to unify these solos so that they're musical too. And by doing that, you want to use repetition and theme variation. So now I'm using both repetition and then it's up an octave higher. So it's a variation. But now, once I'm on that E7, I'm doing kind of this E7 add 11, or you can say E11. And that's just eighth notes. And then I bust into some triplets. And on this is the third time on that F major 7 chord that I'm thinking an A minor-ish kind of a phrase. It starts off with A minor, and then it kicks into the F embellishment. So it goes like this. Kind of sounds like the X-Files theme, if you know X-Files. And then on the F, and then, so it's an embellishment. And then G sharp dim, triad. And that's just outlining. And we did those arpeggios earlier, those Django style. But now I included the diminish. It's just right face value. So I see G7, I'm just playing G triad. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And then I continue. Let's just finish it out. We're so close. Good job, you guys. A minor, triad. More enclosure to that anticipation. That's the F sharp, the third of the D7. So we have that A minor. And then we're to the melody. So that last phrase here on the A minor. And those are all that triplets again, kind of a la Charlie Parker. Triplet, triplet. And yes, if you didn't notice, I diminished it. And then I chose to do kind of an augmented flavor. The augmented flavor is a really beautiful flavor. G augmented, by the way. Just this. And then that's a nice sound. So again, one of the things that I'm always saying is whatever you're thinking harmonically, it's nice to do for your solo. So if I like C major to G7 sharp 5, I want to be able to do the sharp 5 by going, or maybe this. So you want to think harmonically. Well, hey, I hope you guys, John, Mig, great to see you. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this bonus video lesson. This one, I think I'm just going to go, this one will be straight to Patreon at the platinum tier. And of course, if you're already a gold tier member, which has been closed off, you'll have access to this video. It's a complete lesson for On the Sunny Side of the Street, Etude number 1. Thanks for joining, guys. I'll see you next time. Cheers.